After moving from company to company, some people have come to the conclusion that Jessi might not be the artist that you would want under your label, but what is it that makes her so difficult to work with? Jessi was a controversial figure in the industry before she even started adopting this carefree, doesn't follow the rules persona that she's known for today. In screenshots from her old blog comments made in 2006, Jessi is seen saying the N-word and using homophobic slurs to refer to Girls' Generation, Boa, and Daniel Henney. In the past, she has also dealt with multiple accusations of aggression, and overall she's been known for having done quite a few problematic things. Back in 2013, when Jessi was known as Jessica Ho, she was accused of attacking and injuring someone referred to as Ms. Choi at a nightclub in Itaewon. Ms. Choi alleged that Jessi and her friends had tried to put her head in the toilet. Fortunately, she managed to break free, but as she was trying to escape, they made her kneel, demanded an apology, and cursed at her. Ms. Choi refused, repeatedly asked for her handbag, and eventually one of Jessi's friends threw her bag before they all quickly left. Ms. Choi also said that the club manager had made a note of them scurrying out, mentioning that there was CCTV footage of their exit. She had attached pictures of her facial injuries as proof that she had been struck by Jessi and her two friends. In response, Jessi had said that she only tried to stop a fight between her friends and Ms. Choi, saying that the latter had been drunk and had even tried to punch her friends, so Jessi was dumbstruck by the accusations. Ms. Choi ended up dropping the charges, but it was said that she did so because the trial would take too long and she had to go back to the United States. She also allegedly said that she didn't file charges against Jessi just because she was in a K-pop group because she claimed she had no idea who she was. This was forgotten pretty quickly, but then other allegations started popping up. In 2015, Jessi was also accused of attacking her manager, which she denied firmly, but it was hard to believe considering her track record. Then another incident happened at a club in Gangnam a year later. While shooting a music video, Jessi's team and the supposed victim's team had a heated argument that turned into a real physical altercation. According to the police report, one group didn't greet the other, which led to the fight. The man who claimed to be attacked by Jessi testified that things did turn physical, but Jessi denied the allegation. No further action was taken as both parties decided not to press charges, but this didn't paint the best picture of Jessi. She hadn't even properly started her career and she was already dealing with criminal charges and was using slurs to talk about her peers in the industry. Even later on in her career, people had a lot of problems with a few things about her, mostly her blasphemy and some plagiarism accusations, including a black artist. Jessi claims that she talks the way she does because she's from Queens, even though she was just born there and then moved to the suburbs of New Jersey before moving to Korea when she was just 15. This is why some people believe that she's doing the most to imitate black rappers, starting from her way of speaking to the way she dresses and acts and her tendency to over-tan. Even though she toned it down at some point and has grown a lot, her behavior is still problematic to some people and has stopped them from standing her. Then there were issues with the companies she has been with, starting with YMC Entertainment. If you recognize the name, they were the same company that blocked Ailey from appearing on music shows after she left the label. Judging by that, you can guess how they treated Jessi. The main issue that she had with them was that they weren't promoting her properly. Not only did they not promote her songs, but they also didn't let her perform anywhere, and Jessi had to take matters into her own hand most times. She didn't stay quiet about how much this bothered her either, as she used to like comments of fans demanding that YMC promote her. The iconic picture of Jessi holding her head captioned, "Absolutely no marketing by my company, thank God for my fans and friends for supporting me." So when her contract with the company expired, nobody believed YMC's claims that they were discussing whether Jessi would be renewing or not because they knew Jessi would be getting out of there the first chance she got, and that's exactly what she did. In January of 2019, Jessi became the first artist to be signed to Psy's company, P Nation. At first, this seemed like the ideal company for someone like Jessi. The company had this cool vibe where they break away from the usual stereotypes where artists get the freedom to create their own music and style. Some of her biggest hits came out when she was with P Nation, not to mention she kicked off her variety show career after signing with them, but then the cracks started to show. Even though P Nation looked like the kind of company to handle someone like Jessi, it still seemed that she had complaints about the way she was managed and the way Psy was controlling her and the music she was making. According to Jessi, even though she was thankful to the company for making her more mainstream and helping her get more popular with the public, it wasn't the music that she would want to make in the long term. On top of that, being the first artist under the company, she never got a full album, physical records, or merch. Plus, as her popularity rose, it became evident that the management struggled to keep up with promotions and announcements, especially with the other big artists in the company. She also had complaints about how much Psy was involved in the production and making of her songs. It's perfectly fine that she felt this way, but she failed to realize the business side of things, which seems to be one of the problems that follows her everywhere. Psy being the CEO of the company meant that he would be investing in whatever release his artists came up with, so he couldn't just put a bunch of money blindly blindly into everything his artist proposed. While this was not the ideal situation for Jessi, it's the way things work, and P Nation was a freshly established agency, so they really didn't have that much money to do crazy things. So, of course, Psy would give his opinion, hoping that the release in question would be profitable, and of course he would be pushing the songs that he thought would turn out popular. However, this came with a price for Jessi. According to her, it compromised her artistic freedom, but she lacked widespread public support and a consistent, large fan base that would support her music even if it wasn't universally loved, so it made sense for the company to push her towards releasing music that would place her in the charts. Since she was realistically aware that she wouldn't be able to find this artistic freedom in any company she signed, Jessi said that she would be establishing her own company. But here's the thing, at the time, she didn't do it because according to Jessi herself, it was too hard. As proof of how hard it actually is for an artist to do everything on their own, let's talk about her European tour, which went horribly. Jessi had a gig in London on October 10th and was supposed to perform in Paris 2 days later. However, she shared on Instagram stories that she was having a hard time making it to France as she had gotten stuck in London and had to cover her own expenses to get there. Jessi posted an Instagram story saying, "Stuck in London, paying my own way to get to Paris to see my fans, only if y'all knew what I'm going through." 6 hours later, she posted another update, expressing frustration that the person organizing her European tour was ghosting her. Not only that, but she also complained that he couldn't even be bothered to book her a hotel room in Paris when she had to perform the very next day. When fans dug around, they found out that her tour organizer was Tim Kim, who is also known as Hong Kim, and that he was notoriously known as a scammer. This situation must have been confusing and frustrating for Jessi, but it showed that she was in no state to start or run her own company. In fact, it only showed that she was absolutely ignorant to how things worked, and up to that point, her schedules had always been run by her previous agencies. She had no idea how much work the staff put into organizing tours and making things go smoothly because her only job had been to show up and perform. Now that she was in charge of things, she was losing money and didn't even have a hotel room because of a supposed scammer, so it made sense when she signed with Jay Park's company More Vision instead of really establishing her own agency. Jay Park was pretty similar to Jessi when it came to their personalities. They both didn't care about what people thought of them, they wanted to do their own thing and have complete control over their artistry. In hindsight, this really seemed like the perfect company for her. However, her first release under the company Gum sounded pretty much like the song she had released under P Nation, which went against what she had said previously about wanting to release more personal songs. Gum was not personal whatsoever, nor did it show any of her artistry. This might be why only 8 months after she signed with More Vision, there were reports that she and Jay Park were allegedly having disagreements over her unprofessionalism. According to the industry insider that first started the rumors of the two parties disagreeing with each other, Jessi was slated to perform on the October 27th episode of Music Bank. Later on, More Vision announced that she would be canceling all her promotions for Gum, citing poor health as the reason. However, reports emerged that Jessi allegedly complained about the lack of a pre-recording schedule, so she decided not to appear on the show as a sign of protest and not due to her health. This insider said that these disagreements had been going on since Gum was released, and unfortunately, the two sides couldn't find common ground, leading to ongoing conflicts and difficulties in maintaining their partnership. Later on, both Jessi and Jay Park would go on social media and say that things were good between them, but as the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. Despite the fact that both confirmed that there were no disagreements, Jessi left More Vision on January 31st, 9 months after she had joined. She has even hinted that she might start her own label, which again has been proven not to be a good idea. Additionally, the fact that she can easily hop from company to company has made others believe that she might be the problem here, not the management. She doesn't seem to be the easiest person to deal with, considering that she wants her way and her way only and doesn't look willing to compromise. Just because Jessi has big ideas for her career doesn't necessarily mean that she's fit to handle everything, even behind the scenes. In fact, being an active artist can be a distraction when it comes to running an agency unless she can successfully make her own music and arrange everything in the business sense. Regarding her music style, Jessi leans towards less mainstream, more R&B tunes, which isn't as popular in South Korea as you might think. Her favorite song, Star, reflects this style, and she has expressed that she wants to explore more of it. However, the South Korean audience tends to prefer the title tracks she has released so far. So if she releases the music she truly loves, it might not bring in as much profit, which isn't ideal when you're managing everything independently. If Jessi were to run her own label, there's also a chance she might become less consistent in releasing music. Running a label involves a ton of work, planning everything from start to finish, finding a team, directors for music videos, and handling backstage manage logistics because doing it solo takes a lot more than it seems. However, in the end, this seems to be the best option for her since she could finally have full creative freedom, which is something she's always wanted. Who knows, she might surprise us all and actually handle this pretty well once she establishes her label, so let's see. We wish her the best of luck either way.